Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here with my September TBR, which is all the books that I will be reading or hoping to read in September. I have 6 books already planned, so I'll talk about those and then we'll talk about the TBR jar and pick some books out of there. So the first 2 books are books that I had on my August TBR, but I didn't get a chance to read them. And so the first one is Magnolia Parks Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings. This is the most recent book in this series. I don't know if it's going to be the end one or the last one because I haven't read it yet. I believe it takes place after the second Magnolia Parks book. I don't really know anything about it, but I'm loving these books. I have read the other 4, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Magnolia and BJ in this one. The other library book I didn't get to was The Mountain in the Sea by Ray Naylor. As far as I know, this is, it's about octopi, a species of octopi that live in the ocean, obviously, and they are so advanced that they communicate, and they've learned to communicate with humans, I think. And there's 2 rival scientist groups that are fighting to capture them. I don't know. I know it has to do with science and octopi. But again, I've heard about it on BookTube. My brother read it and really loved it. I just didn't get a chance to read it last month, and so I'm really excited to read it this month. I do have 2 ARC books from NetGalley. That stands for Advanced Reader Copy, and so I need to read them. I believe both of them are going to be published this year. One of them I think is in November. I can't remember when the other one is. First ARC I have is Hot Singles in Your Area by Jordan Shively. I'm not quite sure how to say his last name. This one I requested because the cover looks cool. I mean, look at this cover. That's basically why I requested it. It is about day jobs and monsters, is what the short synopsis says. I don't know very much about it, but it sounded interesting, and I just reread the synopsis, and I'm like, dude, this sounds really good, and it looks really cool, so I'm excited for that one. The second ARC book I have is The Legend of Mildred Wells by Michael Clark. This one is about a divorced man who buys a farmhouse and finds out that it is haunted. I'm assuming by Mildred Wells. I don't know. Again, when I read the synopsis, when I requested it, it sounded good and I got approved for it. So I'm excited to read that one too. For my friend book club, we started a book club. We call it the Candy Salad Book Club because we got together as a friend group because we used to make candy salad, and then we started a book club. So now we're the Candy Salad Book Club. Anyway, we made a decision on our next book, and the next book we're reading is Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. In this book, you are following 3 estranged siblings. Their mother has just passed away. Their father is out of the picture. The 3 siblings come to the house to start going through their mother's things and find a box of home movies, and one of them has something weird on it. That's all I know. I don't know. But I have 2 friends that have started this book already and said that they're really excited and they like it. So I'm excited about it. It is a book from my physical TBR list. So any book that I can get off these shelves, I'm happy about. So I'm excited. I've never read another Geneva Rose book, so I'm excited to read this one. And for the Buzzwordathon, the prompt for September is senses. So I have chosen to read Gone to See the Riverman by Christopher Triana. This is another book. I have an e-copy of it, so it's on my Kindle, but it is a book that I own that I'm trying to read this year. So it counts off of these shelves. This book is about a girl who falls in love with, I believe, a serial killer who is in prison, and he asks her to go meet the Riverman, and she brings her sister with her. I don't know a lot about it. I know it's been out for a few years. A lot of people have said that they really enjoyed this. I'm pretty sure it leans towards extreme horror. I don't know how extreme it is or graphic. I think it is, it at least leans that way if it's not considered extreme horror. I know there is a second one. Haven't read that, obviously, because I haven't read the first one. So, but I'm excited I've had that book on my Kindle for, I think, almost a year. So I'm happy to have a reason, an excuse to read it. Those are the 6 books that I have planned to read in September. And even though school has started again and I've been busy, I'm going to try to pick 4 books. I have a total of 10 books on my list We'll see if I can get through all of them. I don't know if I can, but now time for the TBR jar. Here's my TBR jar. It is filled with books that I own that I need to read, but also I have a list of books on my phone that are books that I've heard about that I want to read. So it's a combination in here. So let's see what the first one is. It is, set that down, Plain Bad Heroines. Okay. The first one we picked was Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. I'm excited about this, and it is a book that I own, so it's coming off my shelves. However, look how thick, nice and chunky. So that's great for my first pick. I have been wanting to read this for a while. I think I've had it for like almost 2 years, so I'm excited to read it. Just didn't know that I was going to get such a thick book from the first one that I pulled. In this book, you have dual timelines. One of them is you're following girls at a boarding school, and I believe one of them dies. And then the other timeline is set in the future, and someone it's an abandoned school now, and someone's writing a book about it, I think, and how it's haunted. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it has to do with witches, and it's dual timeline. That's what I know about it. I'm excited. Again, I've been wanting to read this. I just didn't know I was going to get such a thick book my first try. Okay, so now we'll pick our second book. We're going to pick 3 more out of here. Whoops, here's our second one. It is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. That is another book that I own, but I have the e-book for it. It's on my Kindle. This one, I don't know anything about it. I'm pretty sure it's a young adult, which I did not realize when I first wrote down that I wanted to read it. It's all over Book Talk and BookTube. So I don't know anything about it. Maybe it's a witch book or a wizard book, a magic book. Maybe it's neither of the things. I don't know. But Divine Rivals, we're going to learn what it's about because I'm going to read it this month. And okay, so that's 2. So far, both of them have been off of my physical TBR, so that's always a good thing. The third book we got was From Here to Eternity, which I already pulled earlier this year and didn't get a chance to read. So, I pulled this a few months ago, actually. I think maybe in June, and I didn't get a chance to read it. This is From Here to Eternity by Caitlin Dowdy. She runs the YouTube channel Ask a Mortician. Like I said previously, she has come to my town to speak 3 times, and I've been able to go attend those events all 3 times. So I do have a signed copy, which is very exciting. In this book, she traveled around the world to find out about death practices and death rituals around the world, and then she put it together in a book. So that's very exciting. Again, I've been wanting to read this for a long time. I just haven't gotten around to it, and hopefully I actually get to it this time. Because I do really want to read this book, and I feel bad because I just pulled it a few months ago and didn't read it. So hopefully we'll get to this one this month. Okay, so that's 3. Wow, all 3 that we've pulled so far have been from my physical TBR. That's exciting. We're, again, trying to clear these shelves. All right, last one, we got Magic Hour. This is not a book I own, and I think it's by Kirsten White, but I'm not sure, so let me look it up real quick. Okay, I was wrong. Magic Hour? I was thinking of Mr. Magic, which is a completely different book. But I was close. Magic Hour is by Kristen Hanna. I have never read a Kristen Hanna book before. I have 2 in this jar, and this is the one that I picked. So in this one, you are following a psychologist who meets a 6-year-old girl who just appeared out of the woods and maybe has an imaginary friend. I just kind of skimmed the synopsis. I've heard a lot of people love Kristen Hanna books. Again, I've never read any of them, but I know that they're very popular, and so I'm excited to read this one. And this is the only book that I drew from my jar that is not on my shelf. So that's also always a good thing. So those are the 10 books that I hope to read in September. A good mix of different stuff. I got some nonfiction, I got some horror, pretty good. I'm excited about this month. And hopefully I can get to all of them, and I'll just have a great reading month, and maybe I'll get to some more too. Who knows? And now I want to know, have you read any of these books, and what did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.